Hello everyone, it's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel, tap the notification bell, I'd appreciate it majorly. So, several people have probably seen that story that just that broke. I don't know when it was being reported. The incident happened at 1:30 in the morning overnight, early morning hours of today, of Thursday, of the Fort Hood suspect who hasn't been identified, who basically pulled his weapon and killed himself, as the Killeen Police Department and the U.S. Marshals, Lone Star Fugitive Task Force were approaching him, at the 4700 block of East Rancier Avenue in Killeen, Texas. I don't know if that's where he lives or that's where they located him. They were obviously looking for him. This follows yesterday's discovery of human remains, partial human remains, by the Leon River, I believe it's called, which is in Bell County, Texas, not far from Killeen, right outside of Killeen. I think this is inside of Coryell County. And so the timing of it is, obviously, people are wondering if this person was being investigated for the disappearance of Vanessa Guillen. And I would say at this stage that it's definitely very probable, extremely. And I don't know. We'll see. But I think that it's probably the case, which is a shame. Because that probably means that those partial remains are going to turn out to be Vanessa Guillen. How this exactly relates to the death of the other Fort Hood soldier that went missing, Gregory Morales, whose remains were found the week or so earlier on June 19th, the Friday before last, and where he was found was at 3200 Florence Road, which is about 7 miles from this 4700 block of East Rancier Avenue, also in Killeen, Texas. So, as it reads from the press release put out by the Killeen Police Department, it states that I believe the Killeen police officers, as well as U.S. Marshals, approached the individual. He displayed a handgun or a gun, pointed it to himself, I'm assuming his head, and fired, and he died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. They were assisting, investigators from the Fort Hood Criminal Investigation Division, in a criminal investigation that, again, hasn't been identified. Like, they haven't identified what he was being investigated for, but the timing of it, less than 24 hours after partial human remains were found, 23 or 4 miles from where this individual shot and killed himself, obviously is significant, So I'm sure, we'll be hearing more about that, about the incident last night. It won't be long before he's identified. We're given a name and so forth and what he was being investigated for. And if he was being investigated for the disappearance of Vanessa Guillen, I'd say it's probably likely. I did have issues with all of it. I had said that I thought maybe she went AWOL based on a number of different things, and I still don't understand how the death of Gregory Morales and his disappearance was tied in with the death. If the disappearance of Vanessa Guillen, and how it went from a sexual harassment allegation to first obviously premeditated or murder. So, and how if that was the motive behind the murder or disappearance and murder of Vanessa Guillen, if she was killed, how that relates to the disappearance of Gregory Morales. Just the fact that his remains were found, just a week before the discovery of the other partial human remains that many people, I'm sure, suspect is Vanessa Guillen at the Leon River. That's about, I think, a 26-mile distance between the 3200 block of Florence Road in Killeen, Texas, and the East Leon River, the location where the shallow grave and the discovery of the partial human remains was. And then there was another set of unidentified remains, whether that was related to any of this, on the 3400 block, and that happened on Saturday. It appears that the partial human remains were discovered yesterday, even though there was a search in that same area by the Leon River, by Texas EquiSearch, you know, I think on June 22nd, the Monday before last, a little over a week ago, and they had returned to that same area. A Texas EquiSearch had said they found some personal items which they did not identify because of the investigation, you know, to the press. But that's what had caused investigators to return to that location, and then led to the discovery of the shallow grave, you know, yesterday, Tuesday, and it's now, I guess it's Wednesday. I've lost track of the days. And then immediately, you know, less than 24 hours later, they, I guess, were, you know, there was somebody under investigation for some criminal investigation. And as they approached the individual at the 4700 block of East Rancier Avenue, he pulled his weapon, pointed it on himself, and shot himself. We'll hear more. We will. And hopefully maybe some of these, you know, I don't know, some of these questions will be answered, and you know, it's obviously terrible, all of it, you know, for the family. And, you know, if I'm wrong, and I think at this point, it kind of looks like I am, maybe, still not absolutely convinced, that, you know, definitely sorry for the family, for sure. And that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.